Welcome back to the Hope, Helping Our People Elevate. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. You're in for an eye-opening journey. And to my returning viewers, welcome back. You already know we dig deep to uncover the truth the history tried to erase. Today, we're diving into a powerful story. I'll be reading an article from the History Channel while exploring the Dawes Act of 1887, controversial $5 Indians, and the fascinating revelations from unexpected faces in ancient America. Plus, we'll be breaking it all down with rare historical images and artwork from the 1500s and 1800s. So get ready to challenge what you thought you knew about history, and as always, peace and love, family.
On behalf of Akuno Sankofa Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. H-O-P-E. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate. And seeking knowledge make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that my flesh can pass away.
First, let's start with the Dawes Act of 1887, also known as the General Alignment Act. The Dawes Act of 1887, also known as the General Alignment Act, was a law that broke up tribal lands in the American West. The law was passed by Congress and signed into law by President Grover Cleveland. What was its purpose? To assimilate Native Americans in the U.S. society by encouraging farming and agriculture, to destroy tribal relations and social cohesion, to eliminate Indian culture and society. How did it work? The president determined which Native Americans were eligible for alignment to the land. The president issued grants of land to individuals, usually 160 acres to head the household and 80 acres to unmarried adults. The government sold any remaining land to non-native U.S. citizens. What was its impact? The Dawes Act stripped Native Americans of over 90 million acres of land. The Dawes Act damaged Native American culture. The Dawes Act was unsuccessful in assimilating Native Americans into a Eurocentric society. A $5 Indian on the Dawes Roll refers to a non-Native American individual who allegedly bribed government officials with a small sum of money to be fraudulently enrolled on the Dawes Roll, allowing them to claim land alignment from the 5 civilized tribes: Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole. In Indian Territory, now Oklahoma, essentially, they bought their way into the rolls for a small bribe, often around $5, to gain access to tribal lands. Now, I did a video a few months back on the Fathers of the Modern Race Paradigm. This is part 5, where I went into the book Unexpected Faces in Ancient America. And so I want to show a few slides that I created for this presentation that I was doing with this class. So as I said, I wanted to go into this book, Unexpected Faces in Ancient America. And if you've been following my race paradigm series, I'm thinking about starting it back up as well, because I got a part 6 that I wanted to do, but I haven't done it yet. Unexpected Faces in Ancient America, Archaeological Evidence. So we're just going to go through a couple slides that I did from my previous presentation, and you can look at these images. Like I said, these are paintings from the 1800s. None of us that are watching this were around during this time frame, so we couldn't have done this. If you look at the paintings, look at the art, you'll see they had dark pigmentation. They had various colors in each painting, but they painted their skin dark for a reason. It wasn't that they were trying to pretend to be somebody. These are what the people look like. And the artists who painted these images were all of European descent. More images of the indigenous people. Like I say, more images of the indigenous people. And the one on the top left over here in this corner was painted by an Italian explorer, Giovanni da Verrazzano, in 1524. And so this was a 1500 painting of what the indigenous people look like. As we see on the right, the definition for American is a native of America who originally applied to the Aboriginal or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the European descents born in America. How did the European descents born in America become quote-unquote American or even Indian? The Dawes Roll, $5 Indian, the Alignment Act, Oklahoma Land Rush, the stealing of identities, and telling the original people they come from a whole different continent. Let's continue, because I got more images I want to show y'all, but as you see here, and these were black and white photos, but look at the skin tone, look at the cheekbones, look at the structure. And yeah, I say these are Moors because this is a Moorish fez. It may have feathers on the top of it, but it's a Moorish fez if you know about the Moorish history. Like I said, this is from another presentation that I did. And so, yeah, you're going to see the title Moor up here, but you see the skin complexion of the people. You see the turban on the brother's head to the far right. And so from the left to the right, you see who it is. So as you can see, there's more proof of the indigenous people, of the copper-complected people. But it says the Constitution is derived from the Great Law of Peace, which is a royal Moslem law of the ancient Moors, who were given the misnomer as Indians after 1621, when the word Indian was substituted for Moors with a single alteration, and the original text was again translated or transcribed in 1703. So where's my source for this claim? In the Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology in 1888 in Harvard University. So that's where you can go look this information up. Don't take my word for it. I'm giving you the source right here, where it came from. And this image is a map of 1491, and you see it says barbarous tribes on there. So why would it be a map of what we call today present America? As you see, this is the coast of Florida, but the map is titled Barbarous Tribes East of Mississippi. Who were the barbers? The Moors. And so this could be found in the University of South Florida. This is further evidence that the American Indians are Moors, but this is from the book The Americas by Dr. Joseph Morey. So again, man, you can see the images. Look at the noses on the statues. Look at the noses on the people. Look at the eyes. Look at the cheekbones on the statues. Look at the eyes and the cheekbones on the people. These are 3 of the 5 great seals of the 5 civilized tribes, the Seminole, Creek, and the Chickasaw. And if you look closely in the image of the Creek, you will see that the skin of the person in the boat is dark copper complected, just as the Chickasaw. I didn't make these seals. You just got to pay attention to what's going on, what they hide in our faces. The Oklahoma land rush was not the only land rush that took place on this land. You had the Kickapoo land rush of 1884, and this is Baby Long, Kickapoo medicine man. If you look at him, you could tell he was a dark indigenous person. And like I say, you had the Oklahoma land rush. The land rush in 1895 primarily occurred in what is now known as Oklahoma, specifically in Cherokee Outlet. The land rush was a result of the United States government policy of opening up Native American indigenous Moors land to non-Native American settlers for agriculture and economic development. So I read earlier that it was to take over the land. That's what they did. The Dawes Roll of 1887, the land rush of 1889, 1901, 1895. So let's get into the meat of this thing. The Dawes Rolls and the Pretendians, the $5 Indians. The Oklahoma land rush, or the land run of 1889, was the first of several land rushes that opened up unassigned lands in the Oklahoma Territory to non-Native American settlers. And this is the video that I did on the Boomer Sooners, because here in Oklahoma we have, y'all know the OU team, OU Boomers, Boomer Sooners. So if you don't know the origin of that, it came from the land rush. Learn who the Boomers and learn who the Sooners were. Go check out that video. I'll probably leave a link in the description. That way you don't have to go looking for it. It'll just be right there for y'all. And like I said, there wasn't just that one land rush or the 2, the Kickapoo. You had the land run of 1893 in the Cherokee Outlet, the land run of 1884 in the Kickapoo, the land run of 1896, Arapaho in Canada, modern day Canada, the land run of 1903, and you had the land run of 1901. And so each land run opened up different areas of the Oklahoma Territory for settlement, or just the world territory in general, the United States territory. As I've mentioned in the past in multiple videos, Iron Eye Cody, who was an Italian who portrayed Native American in many other Hollywood films, and he was not just the only one. There were many actors that played Native Americans to help promote that this is what the natives look like in their films, in Hollywood films. You had people like Jay Silverhills, best known for his role as Tonto in the Lone Ranger television series. Anthony Quinn portrayed Native American characters in several films, including The Plainsman and Buffalo Bill. Burt Lancaster played a Native American warrior in the film Apache. Elvis Presley portrayed Native American in the film Flaming Star. Yul Brynner played a Native American character in films such as The Light at the Edge of the World and The King and I. And so these are just a few of the many actors, I'm going to keep saying actors, who played to be indigenous people, just like in Apocalypto. If you look at the actors, and then you look at the murals, look at the paintings, look at the artifacts, they look nothing like those people. It may be fashionable to play Indian now, but it was also trendy 125 years ago when people paid $5 a piece for the falsified documents declaring them native on the Dawes Roll. These so-called $5 Indians paid the government agents under the table in order to reap the benefits that came with having Indian blood. All right, let's just go into basic common knowledge, right? Chinese people come from China, Japanese people come from Japan, and Australian will come from Australia, etc. Ethiopians, Ethiopia, etc., right? So an Indian would have to be from where? India, right? So saying that to say this, the people of East Asia, Indian descent, those are the indigenous people, the Indians. Those are the ancient people of India. These are the people that Columbus thought that he discovered. He thought he was in Asia. But you see the image, you see the quote-unquote African-American, and you see the Indian, same skin pigmentation. Now, I ain't gonna read all this, but this is, like I said, from a presentation that I did with a class last year when I was doing my race paradigm classes. And so this is from the Unexpected Faces of Ancient America. And this was published, well, not published, but this is ancient, going back to the 1500s. And so all these statues on the top are from the book. And I want you to look at the people on the bottom. They don't look like the people on the top. I'm not promoting hate in no shape, form, or fashion. I'm just helping our people elevate by giving you the truth. So make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. And don't forget to turn that post notification bell on. As I say, you can look at all the images. You see the big wide noses, big thick lips. People on the bottom don't have none of these features. And also, where do you think the people on the bottom get their dark hair from? I mean, if you're honest, look at the little girls to the left right here. They look more Asian, again, Indian as far as modern day Asia, not ancient indigenous people, but they look more like the modern Asians than quote unquote Native American or Indian people. Look at the artifacts from the book. I mean, you can see the big, thick lips in all the images. Look at the hair. Europeans and quote unquote natives don't have hair like this. They don't have their hair like this. This was not their culture. This is not these people. Like I say, this is from a presentation that I did, a class that I did on the unexpected faces in ancient America and the race paradigm and how they mislabeled us again. And I heard a lot of quote unquote Native Americans try to call us wabos. That's a black person trying to claim to be native. I'm giving y'all the facts. I'm giving y'all the proof. I'm showing y'all the ancient artifacts, ancient paintings, definitions, words. Pretendian, this is a real term. Person who falsely claimed Native American heritage, an Indian hoaxer. And so if Indians are from India, then who are these people claiming to be Native American, claiming to be Indians? These are just more images of Europeans claiming to be, as the one on the left said, that he claims to be Cherokee, and the guy on the right claims to be Choctaw. And these are their mugshot images. So they use the quote unquote Indian benefits of claiming to be tribal to get the tribal police and tribal feds, tribal authority to back them up in these cases. These are more Europeans fighting and arguing over identity, claiming to be Native American, claiming to be Indian. I will read all this, but like I said, I did this for a class. You can go back and watch that video. So I'm kind of skipping through this, kind of jumping through here. Go watch that class where I read all that if you want to. I'll leave the link in the description probably again for y'all for this one. I'm saying pretending using DNA testing or family law to fight the legal status. I mean, these is more quote unquote Europeans or so-called white people claiming to be native, but this guy did a DNA test and he said he had some sub-Saharan African in him. The stolen legacy of Morris Estate. So you see the Europeans with our feathers on, they have the little fancy Shriner emblems in them. You know what I want to do? I want to look into that for y'all real quick. Let's deep dive into that emblem. Let's examine the words on their fezzes. I see one says Arabia, Zamora, Abayas. Again, these are not European names. It's the reason why I'm doing this. ISIS. I mean, and forgive me for my lack of knowing the term, but this symbol right here, that's a quote unquote blackface or more. Come on, man. I mean, but this is what Europeans, they're wearing your head dressing on them, claiming your identity. And we allow them from a lack of knowledge, a lack of knowing. Where did the term $5 Indian come from? The term $5 Indian refers to a historical phenomenon where European descendants falsely claim Native American ancestry to gain government benefits. I mentioned that earlier, but I'm just, like I said, this is a class I did. So I'm showing y'all an old presentation, but to make y'all aware of what's going on and how. Because they try to tell our Latino brothers and sisters to go back to Mexico, but you're the foreigner. And also, they come from, everybody come from us, but that's a whole other video. President Grover Cleveland, the Dawes Act passed in 1887 under President Grover Cleveland allowed the federal government to break up tribal lands. So same thing that Trump's doing today, breaking up families and breaking up people's land and resources. Same thing all the presidents do with the indigenous people of various nations across the world. This ain't nothing new. They've been doing this. But I got one more image I want to show y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and read this article. This is a U.S. gold coin of the original Statue of Liberty. This was a Moorish or Muslim quote-unquote black woman in 1792 when this gold coin was established. I didn't make this up. You can also Google this, look this up yourself. So you can go out there and check the information out yourself. You can Google it, read it, look it up. It's out there. I don't want y'all to believe anything I say. I put sources here for y'all to check out. Let's jump into the information though.